"Don't bother him," my mom's voice called harshly from the open living room. I stood in front of the dark oak door, my hand twitching to open the cold, golden doorknob. I wasn't allowed in his room a whole lot. Mom said I went in there too much, that I annoyed Gramps when I went in. He never seemed annoyed, though. I grabbed the doorknob quietly and rested my small childlike hand upon it until I had worked up enough courage to finally push open that barrier that separated my best friend and I. I jumped in quickly and lightly, pushed the door back in place until I heard a faint click of the door closing securely. The room lurked with darkness, except for the dimmed lamp in the middle of the room above his head. The strong scent of an elder overwhelmed me with an abundance of comfort. That's what my Gramps in this room was, comfort and security. I walked along the carpeted ground, making light sounds as my feet dragged. I finally looked up to his face and saw his smile full of love. He wasn't like other great-grandpas might be. He wasn't old and bent over. He stood fairly straight and could walk just as well as I did. He was different, but the same, in every way. I took my rightful spot upon his soft lap, with a smile tugging at the corners of my lips. I had a bony bum. My mom complained a lot about it, but Gramps never did. He handed me the remote for his small television, and my smile grew even wider as I pushed the numbers for a pointless child show that to anyone else would be horribly boring. Of course, Gramps didn't say anything about it. He never did. I woke up one cold winter morning with the feeling of having another great day ahead of me. Nothing particular would stand out, but it was a feeling I had. I walked into that bright living room that was above my favorite place in the world. Mom and Dad sat on the huge couch that my cat had ripped to shreds in one end. Silence stung the air, a silence that reeked bad news off the walls and my parents. The idea of a good day instantly slipped away. "He's in the hospital, sick," Mom had said. "The ambulance, with the sirens off, came and got him early in the morning while you were asleep." I could feel my face flush with worry as my heart dropped. I swallowed and had to remind myself he was in the hospital. It wasn't as though he was gone, yet. Sick people almost always leave the hospital in good condition. He would leave the same way because he wasn't rude or selfish. Not once did he say anything unpleasant or be dangerously harsh to someone. Days went by without a word on how Gramps was doing. I thought it was safe to assume he was going to be all right, that he would make it out of the hospital in a week's time, or something like that. I had never been so wrong in my life. We were driving in the car to the new Westminster Hospital to see my friend, my family. Maybe he would see us, and his heart would see how much we all missed each other, and it would send signals to the rest of him, and he would heal. I could only hope. Walking into the giant hospital was like walking into a deserted Disneyland, creepy and unsettling. I felt like an ant as I walked down the long, glossy halls. Mom warned us that Gramps would have tubes in his nose and throat. I realized I never really understood how bad it would be. I assumed it would be cool looking. I was a naive child at that moment in my life. Perhaps it was because I clung to any tiny piece of hope that he would live. It was scary. I tried to understand what it would feel like, but I couldn't. Seeing tubes inside of him was beyond anything someone like me could have imagined. It seemed as though he was getting better, stronger, and that made me feel better. I'd have maximum comfort when he was safe and sound back beneath the living room, full of life and healthy. He had to get better. He couldn't get any worse, could he? It was another boring morning where I was playing a game with my sister. Little did I know that it wasn't just any morning. Any other morning wouldn't have given me news that would scar me forever. My heart died a little, and would always have a chunk that would be paralyzed. I would never have my friend, my family, my comfort back. Only the room with the memories of a great man. No one could count how many tears I spilled for him. I got God knows how many hugs, but not one of them was going to bring back what I wanted most. I wanted my Gramps. I remember going back in my favorite place in the whole world, and I tried to imagine him sitting in that chair with the dimmed light above his gray-haired head, but I couldn't.